All right, so it seems I'm going first again this year. I think that's it must be by design. So anyway, for the last 2 years, I've stood up here and I've talked about things that are pretty messed up with our society and civilization. And having done that last year, I depressed everyone last year, I was asked to provide solutions rather than problems. So I thought, I'll give it a shot. So anyway, I'm going to try and provide some ideas to solve some of the problems I've talked about, oil, food, and water, from both a civilizational sort of aspect and a sort of transitional individual aspect. And the first thing you're going to need to do is sort of get past the hump, right? And I'll recap, some of these problems as we go. The biggest problem you're going to have is short-term food. And one of the reasons for that is we just have this messed up agricultural system where we're sort of using 10 calories of energy for every 1 calorie of food we produce. It's kind of a stupid equation, but there you go. And here's the thing: if you told your grandparents that you had just like half a day's worth of food in your house, they would look at you a little funny. It's just not the way we've done things as humanity for a very long time. We have stores of food. That's the way we do things. But now, we can sort of go to the grocery store anytime we want. There are in some places open 24 hours, and we just go down and get whatever we need whenever we need it. And hell, some of us will even not go to grocery stores. I have a friend who literally has not been to a grocery store in years. He just eats takeout food. And that's kind of messed up. Anyway, so here's the sort of first suggestion. Learn to cook. If you can make good, wholesome food from simple, raw ingredients, you're ahead of the game. Because a lot of people just cannot do that anymore. It's a lost skill. Once you know how to make that food from, again, simple, raw ingredients, do a weekly grocery shop. But instead of just buying a week's worth of food, buy a week and a half. And then repeat a week later. And after a while, you'll have enough food in your house so that, if for whatever reason you cannot get to the grocery store, you can actually eat. It's a great idea. So along the lines of oil, we're already hitting this bumpy plateau of oil prices. 2008, we saw the price of oil spike, and a lot of people say, that was just speculation. But it was speculation about what? Well, it was speculation about the fact there's not all that much of it left. And it crashed after the economic bubble burst or whatever. And then, having crashed, it's now risen back up to the same sort of prices. So we're sort of the next debt bomb exploding away from it crashing again. But this is the bumpy plateau that people that are interested or fascinated by the idea of peak oil talk about. And so a lot of people have a reaction to high gas prices, and that is trade in the big truck or the big SUV. I'm here to tell you that is a terrible idea. And it's terrible because your annuals grow at that layer. And then the layer above that, you've got bushes. And then finally, you've got vines climbing up to the sort of the climax of the forest, which is the canopy. And by carefully selecting plants at different levels that can actually benefit us or benefit the system as a whole, you can build an incredibly productive food supply that you really don't have to put any work in. And so by planting and planting, and most importantly, thinking about the plants we use, we can build something that sustains and grows itself. We need forests rather than fields. And so while forest may appear chaotic, it isn't. And similarly, permaculture is not really about just selecting a bunch of random shit and putting it in the ground and hoping it works. It's carefully selecting beneficial plants. And it works at the smallest scale to the largest scale. So literally there are people that use just a sort of quarter-acre suburban lot and produce all the food that they eat. There is a family, I think, in Chicago, and they only eat off of their land, and it's a quarter-acre suburban lot, which is pretty impressive. Now, I don't know that this will feed the world. I don't think we can possibly replicate the amount of food we produce at the industrial scale with the petrochemical system that we currently use. But what I do know is we need a better way of farming. Anyway, that's all I got for you today.